Got him.
Hello, I'm Hickok 45. Pretty funny, huh? Yeah, it's wearing my Johnny Cash shirt, but I'm still Hickok 45. And I thought I saw a snake. Actually, I did see a snake. Guess where it was? I'm just a regular comedian today. It's in my hand. It's called Colt King Cobra, okay? You can see it right on the barrel. That's how I knew. Otherwise, I probably never would have. You know, I'm not very smart. This is the Colt King Cobra. You probably already knew that from the title, but we haven't fired the Colt King Cobra yet, and I have for a few days now, and I thought I'd show it to you, okay? You've seen the other Colt, the 38 Special, the Cobra, that they came out with a couple of years ago, but we've not done the King Cobra yet, and I think this just came out back in January, so we're happy to bring it to you, and I've been very happy to shoot it. It's pretty cool. I'll do a little comparison, but mainly I wanted to show you the King Cobra and give you our impressions of it. Okay, that's what we do. It's I was pleasantly surprised when it came in, and I fired it some, and I couldn't put my finger right on why do I like this. I didn't expect to like it as much because I think I handled it at SHOT Show, I don't know, it's just neater than I remembered it. I think it's partly, and I'm sorry Smith & Wesson, but you know, when you get a newer Smith, it seems like it's got the sleeved barrel, and it's got the key lock hole in it, and you know, weird stuff like that. And I don't know, this is just a kind of a plain old all stainless steel firearm. I don't think the barrel is sleeved. I mean, it's not a crime if it is, but no, it's kind of crowned, so for protection there. You know, it's just kind of like the old school revolver that you might buy. No key locks or anything like that. You do have, of course, the frame mounted firing pin, but you had that really, gosh, I guess on all the Colt double action revolvers. So I don't know, it's in 3 inches on the barrel length. My favorite barrel length, as many of you know. It's just pretty cool. So I like it. Now, it's not cheap, but I think MSRP is around $900, but you can probably get it for about $750, something like that. And it's a revolver, and you know, I always say, if you don't have a revolver, you should be about getting one. It had better be on your to-do list because they're just fun. I've got a couple of speed loaders here. I think I read it would take a Model 10 Smith & Wesson, you know, speed loader. I tried it. It sort of hung up on the grips a little bit. I thought, fool with that. You know, I'm not in a IPSC match or anything, and I just like to load them and shoot them, and I'm not in a rush, because if I were in a big rush to get 100 rounds downrange, guess what? I would not necessarily be shooting a 6-shot revolver. I'd have that SIG, you know, in my hand and firing it or something. Okay, so pretty cool gun. You can see it. It's 6-shot. It's a 3-inch barrel, and it is a Colt. That's pretty cool. You know, Colt quit making revolvers several years ago. Then they came back with the Cobra, and now this. So maybe we'll get lucky, and there'll be some more things to come. Hope so. Now, they've been making the Colt single actions all along, even though they're not making many of those, I understand. But as far as the double action revolvers, you know, the Troopers, the Pythons, and all those, they quit making those. And it's good to have a nice revolver back. It seems to be a nice one. You know, if you know otherwise, if you're having trouble with yours, let us know. But seems to be well made. I've been shooting it for a day or two, and it's cool. I like the little brass insert in the front sight, and you know, you don't have an adjustable sight there or anything. You got a nice little line you can look down through there, kind of like this. Both of these Smith & Wessons, really, for that matter. There's no adjustable sights on those. These are for close distance and for up close and dirty, as they say. And you don't really, as long as you've got a sight that you can see, that's really all that matters. Okay. Now, the reason I brought these out, though, was to give you an idea of the size. Okay, now many of you know this is Model 65, one of my favorite revolvers, firearms period. It is a 3-inch also, Smith & Wesson. It's a K-frame, and compared with a K-frame, this Colt, it's the D-frame, the Colt is, but it's a little smaller than a K-frame. Okay, that'll give you an idea if you're familiar with Smith & Wesson. See, it's a little thinner, just a little bit. It's not quite as hefty, as the K-frame Smith & Wesson. Now keep in mind this K-frame has a bull barrel on it, but as far as the frame and the cylinder, you got a little less width, a little less weight with this Colt. Okay, in fact, this firearm here weighs 32 ounces and this one weighs 28. Okay, so you got 4 ounces difference. I was a good math student. And you know, so it's lighter. And I didn't bring out my 686. I thought I should have maybe, but this would be a substantially smaller, lighter than the 686 I have in 3-inch 357 Magnum. Okay, because it's even smaller than the K-frame. Okay, just give you an idea. And of course, it's bigger than a J-frame, so I have this one out. That's the J-frame, you know, small Smith, pocket Smith, whatever. So it's, you know, it's still bigger than that. So it fits between the J-frame and the K-frame in terms of size. All right. Now Colt might not like me comparing with Smith & Wessons, all that and everything, but that's kind of where it is, 28 ounces. And if you get much smaller than this in 357 Magnum, if you're shooting, you know, hot ammo, you're going to pay for it, right? Now this one, I'll go ahead and shoot some 357 Magnums. You can tell you're shooting Magnums, boy. You know it. But now these rubber grips do you know, absorb a lot of that, so you're not. I probably won't cry and shed tears on camera, okay, because I have these rubber grips, but I'm going to shoot a few of them, okay? Guess we ought to use them wisely since we have them in there. Let's hit that propane tank with one, all right? I'll even shoot it one-handed, all right. It's going to be a big boom. Get away, bugs. Oh, man, yeah, you get a little recoil there. You know, I've got a couple of 2-liters lined up there, so I have a feeling this will go through both of them, unless I miss. Yeah, blew both of them. Let's just go ahead and really punish ourselves. Let's shoot left-handed. Let's hit one on that paper target there. All right, it's going to blast me. That's some recoil. I'll shoot that piece of steel, that disc there. The round one, right? There's only one. Woo! Man, it's loud. I'll try to hit that bowling pin with my weak hand. I doubt that I will, but I'll take a shot at it. Oh, man, I got him. Believe it. Never know when you're going to be disabled and need to shoot weak-handed. So, I don't know if you could tell. There's a fair amount of recoil there. I would not enjoy shooting that for, you know, 50 rounds or something. You know, even though I'm not all that sensitive, as you know, to recoil, overly sensitive, I guess. We're all human, at least we try to be. So it does, you know, it does kick you, it kicks anybody. But yeah, it stings a little bit. It does. So I know people think I'm a wimp and would disagree. I tend to carry plus P 38 specials if it's a carry gun in 357 even, okay? Or some light 357s if that even exists that you don't hand load yourself. But yeah, plenty of power and controllable and everything. There's some great plus P ammo out there. In fact, this is supposed to be pretty good stuff. I think I'll shoot some of those. I obviously don't have a bullet in them, like I said. Let's just slip them in there. That is a mean looking bullet. I like that. Okay, that's definitely a hollow point, isn't it? Okay, we'll shoot a couple of those. All right, get my ears in tight. All right, what do we want to shoot? How about that? So you get a little bit better control out of it, even double action, and maybe you still miss, but not bad. And fixed sights and everything. And that's a lot further away than my average shooting engagement when I'm in combat. And generally speaking, I put some different 38 specials in, plus P. And, you know, you generally are going to, you know, in most of my gunfights, this is the kind of distance I usually find myself in, like right about, you know, here, paper target. I didn't wear my holster. I forgot my holster. We'll assume I pulled it out, and, you know, and there's the target. You know, and, you know, that kind of distance is what you're going to be talking about, right? Y'all know that. That's where most of your gunfights occur, right? So, yeah, let me load it up and shoot a few more times. What have I not told you about it? I'll shoot a little bit of long range just because that's what we do, don't we? We always have to try to hit a gong or something on out there a little bit further, which I've done with it and just messing around with it. The sights seem to be on. I'm shooting different power factor ammo, so I might not hold it in the right place elevation-wise, but it seems plenty accurate. You know, there's that word again. More accurate than I am, and it seems to withstand anything that we've shot. It's not frozen up on us shooting magnums or anything like that. Haven't broken it, and you know, I think if you like revolvers, this is one you might want to look at, unless it's just, you know, out of your budget, because it's not cheap. You're probably not going to find it for under $7. I would say between $7 and $8, probably. Just depends. And, you know, but pretty nice revolver. I prefer the way the latch works on a Smith, where you push forward or kind of down on a Ruger. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay. Most of us with a revolver like this, it's kind of a range gun. It could be a home defense gun. It could be a carry gun. You know, it's a 3-inch barrel. So many of us have gotten spoiled by lighter firearms. But 28 ounces, not too bad. What's a Glock 19, I think weighs 20, is it 26 ounces, 24 ounces, something like that. So, you know, if you've got a good holster, you're not going to notice a lot of difference. You have different capacity, of course, and but you got 6 for sure, you know, generally speaking, especially the first 6. Now, a revolver can malfunction, but those first 6 usually are not going to. Things you have trouble with a revolver, I pointed out before, you may get some powder residue under the star, the extractor or something, and hang it up, and then you really do have kind of a serious problem. It just doesn't happen that often. But if your revolver is clean, those first 6, I mean, they're going to go, okay? And the second 6 too. It's going to work, you know. Unless you put a broken revolver in your holster, and you wouldn't do that, right? So, yeah, let me load her up again. And what should I shoot? Let's shoot some of my hand loads here, just for the heck of it. Yeah. Yeah, I got this Johnny Cash shirt at the Johnny Cash Museum the other day. It's pretty cool. I ran into a couple of you all there. You know who you are, right? I made some lame joke about, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," to one of the fellow that recognized me out in the foyer, and I talked to a little bit. But I'll tell you, Nashville's a neat place, and it's growing like crazy, but it's a neat city. And I grew up watching Johnny Cash because my parents were musicians. My dad was, and so I essentially grew up with him, and several other folks that he liked, and then I learned to like. And in fact, I even taught Johnny Cash's grandson when I was teaching English back in the day, and I just always liked Johnny. I met Johnny Cash one time, so now I can't sing like him. I won't tell you any lies. Okay. All right, let's take out a hog. How about that? And then we'll try the gong. Boom! All right. Now I don't know where to hold, but I'll get in the neighborhood maybe. All right, that's what I wanted to hear. Let me try that red plate right beneath the gong. It's kind of small for me, but or these sights. Where I'm missing. We'll go double action. That didn't do any good. I was empty. So John probably knows where I was missing, but it doesn't matter. I missed it. Okay. So anyway, it feels good. The trigger double action is pretty good. I think it's, what I read, 8 pounds or something on double action. Single action, 4 to somewhere between 4 and 5 pounds. But you know, numbers are just numbers. It actually feels pretty good. Okay, it's a nice smooth action. The single action's really nice, and then double action, it's very smooth. I don't really notice any stacking. Yeah, it feels good. And as much as I'm not crazy about those rubber grips, they feel pretty good, and you know, gives you I don't know, just a good feel. Okay, I'm gonna shoot it one more time if you'll let me. It feels good. So some of these are loaded with old brass. Is why I don't know, you may have seen me pull one or two of those back out. These are I load these things. I've loaded 357 Magnum since '73, and some of that's the same brass. It really is. It's been reloaded over and over and over. Okay, let's hit a couple of these plates here. Yeah. Nice. Click. Yes, I think you would feel well armed with this. I really do. And you know, again, don't just ignore revolvers. They are very effective, and I think they're easy to shoot well once you just have some experience with them at all. There's something about them that they enable me to shoot better, I think, in a lot of ways than I can with a semi-automatic pistol. I don't know what it is. I don't have to think about it as much, at least at close ranges, you know, and just something about that double action just puts you on target as you're pulling the trigger. So, you know, if you've never tried one, I would advise you to do that. So the King Cobra, negatives would be the price. It's pretty expensive, but then a lot of guns are these days, aren't they? Other than the normal stuff you get with the Colt, the latch going the wrong way, I don't have a lot of other negatives about it. It's got a nice big trigger guard there, and it looks pretty good, and you know, shoots well. I can't bash it. Gosh, I don't know how to make this a dramatic video, John. You got any ideas? No, just those couple of negatives. You know, expensive gun, and the positives would be kind of like it, and I'm a revolver guy. A lot of ways is another positive too is the fact that Colt made the dumb thing, and they seem to be trying to crank back up slowly but surely and maybe make some of these old guns again, right? So, and I have said, I've been on record saying I'm not sure I want them to make the Python again. I know everybody's waiting for that. Well, maybe I should eat my words. If they make it like they were made, you know, fine. But I don't want to see a Python come out. I hope you're listening, Colt. Just don't bother. If it comes out and it's just it looks so hot, and I don't know, you know, in order to be able to keep it under 2,000 or something, you have to make it with an alloy frame or do some funky stuff to it. Just don't bother, you know. Put a key lock hole in it and call it classic. You know, just forget it. You know, we'll just try to save up and buy the old ones, I guess. But anyway, if you do bring it out, please make it like the old ones, and put the labor and the work into it, whatever it requires. And I'm impressed that this is a nice revolver. It doesn't strike me as, well, yeah, it is sort of like the old King Cobra, but you know, it's not even close. No, actually, it seems fine. I never did own an original King Cobra. They did make them, by the way. I meant to tell you, from I think it was 1986 to 98. I believe, and then somewhere in there in our 90s they stopped for a couple of years, and you know, so it was on and again, off again, and then in 98 they suspended you know, making them. So it's a bring back. I think the originals had they're more like the Trooper 5, like this one is, but they had adjustable sights, and I'm not sure what other differences necessarily. I never did own one of those, but this is a fine gun. Fine remake as far as I can tell. If you know differently, if yours is falling apart after a few shots, let us know. But it seems to be well made, and it feels good. I like the size of it in a revolver. It's just a nifty gun, you know. To me, you know me, I like 3-inch barrels. That's enough, really. And that frame is big enough. I'm not going to shoot killer magnums every shot. If I did, I'd want a bigger, heavier gun, Ruger or a 686 or something. So for me, this is just fine. As you can tell, it ought to be fine with me. One of my very favorite revolvers, if you've been around a while, is right there lying on the table, and it's very much like this, right? So if I had one, you know, I might be tempted to file off the hammer. But other than that, I like it. So anyway, I'll shut up. The Colt King Cobra hasn't been out that long, if you're looking for a revolver and you got more than $200 or $300, it might be one you want to at least look at. Okay, so glad y'all came out today. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you around. Life is good.
That's not bad. Oh, hey, just measuring this 15-shot group. Since I've got you here, I want to remind you to check out our friends over at SDI and Talon Grips. SDI is a fully accredited online distance learning program where you can get an associate's degree in firearms technology or become certified in gunsmithing. So check them out at sdi.edu. They also accept GI Bill, so be aware of that. Talon gun grips, you may be aware of those. Dad's been using them for a long time. Essentially a grip tape that goes around the grip of your handgun, just like this, around the grip, and gives you a much better grip, and you're not stuck with basically the grip that comes from the factory on the pistol, because it's not like the old days with 1911s where you just change out the grips. A lot of these more modern handguns don't give you that option, so you have to either just stick with what you got or wrap something around the outside. So check them out if it makes sense for you. And also, don't forget to go to our website, hickok45.com. We have a bunch of stuff over there for you guys to check out. We actually have our videos now on gunstreamer.com, so please check that out. Don't forget about our social media. Don't forget to look in the description also. There's a lot of information there. The description of the video and the website, hickok45.com. But our social media at The Real Hickok45 on Instagram, Hickok45 on Facebook and Twitter. There's John_Hickok45 on Instagram, but you can't guess who that is. What else? I think that's all I was going to tell you guys. Oh yeah, our merchandise. You can find our merchandise at bunkerbranding.com. We have this shirt, at least as I'm making this video, available. And we've got some hats. Just go check it out. It's going to change what we have available at different times. So if you like something, maybe go ahead and jump on it. But the main thing is hickok45.com, and support the people who support us whenever it makes sense for you. As always, I really appreciate you guys still watching these videos after so long and so many years. It means so much to us, and it's been such a fun experience. And we appreciate you guys, and see you later.